So, tail lights.
All it takes is one job, oh yeah. All it takes is one job, and everything is gonna be okay.
Thought about putting 2 up here, but it just didn't look quite right. So I think we're gonna put 2 down here. So what I have is these watermelon lights. They're an aftermarket deal that they've been making since the 50s, maybe the 40s. These things have been around for a while, and they call them the watermelon lights because they kind of look like half a watermelon. But the cool thing is they're glass. The reason I have orange ones is because we're painting the truck orange, and I'll just put a red bulb in there, and that'll make them red when they're on. Also, the watermelon lights you can also get in the Mini, and they're still glass. These will go up on the roof rack, and so we'll probably tie those into turn signal probably, and running light. Plus you can get these in all kinds of colors. You can get them purple, blue, whatever we want, clear. So if we decide to use them for reverse lights too, we can. I think we'll probably have the reverse lights in the bumper, just because I don't really feel like putting them up here. But maybe after we get these 2 up here, we'll want to do 3, and so we'll do orange, clear, orange. But I think we'll just end up with the 2 orange. But it's kind of freaking me out hauling these things around since they're glass. I'm just feeling like I'm gonna drop one. But I like them. I think they're cool. They have that bus look, that industrial bus look, which is kind of, you know, what looks right on this. You know, we don't want a tail light like off a car or something like that. These will look right at home. Got some big old magnets. That'll kind of help us locate where we want these bad boys. Try them on the more finished side here so we don't have as much distraction. I think I'm going to use this line to split and paint them, and so we'll go evenly up and evenly down from this line here. That'll be our split. So we have our circles drawn out here, but I don't want to just have them on here because, you know, it kind of needs to go kind of like that in order to be square. You know, we can't just lean them out. So what I want to do is, I think I want to kind of French them in a little bit. Not below the bezel, but kind of more what it needs to, rather than bring it all the way out to there. Well, those are just sitting in there in the holes with the magnets inside the holes there. And I'll get them to fit a little more square, but I just don't know how I'm going to get them to kind of point right, look right. You know, I'd like them to be, you know, a lot more in and pointed to where the point goes, you know, level. I don't know. So I came up with this idea while I wasn't sleeping last night, and I don't know if it'll work or not, but it seems like it might. And so I drilled a hole through the deck of this and put a bolt through and drilled a hole through my plate here, and I'm wondering if I could make rings, because sometimes you'll have a, you know, we're working on this light thing, and sometimes you'll have something that you want to make a, oh my god, that is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. Tighten it down a little more. That is so freaking cool. How cool is that? It worked like a champ. Like, why doesn't Bailey have this attachment? So like, if you drill a hole in your deck, you can make perfect circles. bolt hole in and move the dies out a little bit. What?
As another test piece, we've cut it just into a circle that'll leave about a 1/2 inch past each one. And then with the excess material, hopefully going inside to outside, as well as having less excess on the outside, it'll warp the piece less. But it's all trial and error. Gone around one circle at that depth, and then I think I'm actually going to add just a little bit more.
Bailey does have shear dies. With their shear dies, we could even run that like that and then run a cutter in it. Like further in if you needed that center cut out.
Yeah.
You could cut it on both sides actually. You could cut the outside first and then the inside. That seems like it warped a lot less. Okay, so I made these 2 cups for the lights here. We're gonna weld that top ring on. If you can see, I made it slightly smaller so when you grind down that weld, it's still in there good. Kind of doing a 45 off of that edge to weld in. You don't want that piece to be the same diameter as what you're welding. I'm loving this new fad table. Tori down at TJ Metal Tech cut it out for me. This table I've liked because it's skinny and small. It can make it between cars here in the shop. I find if you just have a giant 4x8 fab table that it just ends up getting stacked with shit. So he cut me out. This cart was left here by somebody on the property. It was a renter, and the top was just crazy warped up. So we did this 1/4 inch plate on top, which wasn't cheap, but so worth it. And then I had these holes cut out in it, just so, you know, if you need something to pass through, or if you need something that needs to sit in there, to sit flush it, you know, you got those. But shout out to TJ Metal Tech, St. George, Utah. So I made our little cups here, and I'm not sure if we'll have them going in this way or if we'll have them going in this way, but this makes it to where we can do either, and we need, you know, some sort of mounting surface. So one way or another we need this. I did cut these. I took a piece of exhaust tubing that was too big, and I cut the exhaust tubing into a 2-inch piece and then cut the seam on it, and I shortened these up to a smaller diameter, that much I took out of here, and that made it to where, you know, the light will sit nicely in the cup, you know, with the even amount of thing. This is one way to do it. You know, this is your usual French. You know, it'd be Frenched is sunk in, but I never like how the paint turns out in here. And if you get a run or something in there, it's just impossible to fix. It's hard to paint it. It's hard to get the color and the clear to go in a pocket like this, because it just wants to kind of swirl out of it. So they can be kind of a difficult spot to paint. And I don't like a 90-degree edge. So if I do French it in, I'll do a rolled edge. You know, I try to do a rolled edge so this will protrude out of the piece a little bit, and then I'll roll the edge around, you know, or snow drift it. They call it snow drift when you come up like this. At any rate, it'll have, I try to give it a little bit more dimension than just a sunken 90-degree edge. But I don't really want to sink these in, because it just isn't a factory gig to have something sunk in like that. So I'm thinking more like it's going to be on top of this, and we're going to kind of build it up, kind of smooth it into it. But I just need to get that flat surface. and I need it to be, you know, kind of flat to the vehicle, true to the, probably will go by the floor. And then another thing that's really hard is making them flat to each other across the back here. If you don't make them flat to each other across the back, you'll have them sticking out like this, or, you know, like our weird titty stuff. I got the dial indicator here on the floor of the truck, and it's saying the floor is at 4 degrees. And so I stick this on here. I'm 4 degrees there. Stick this on here. And this top needs to come out a little bit. Right there is 4. And then how to figure out that side to side, I'm taking a piece of bar here, putting it across the opening here, and I'm just checking to make sure that this is the same too. Looks like this one needs to go back a touch and this one needs to come out a touch, but that's how I'm gonna get them to where they're the same side to side, which has been a screwy mind trick to make that happen right. So I'm gonna get these tacked right, double triple tech them, and go on to our next step.
All it takes is one job, oh yeah. All it takes is one job, and everything is gonna be okay.